Hello, everybody. Claire Chancellor here. When we think about what we're manifesting, there's the gap between where you are now and what it is that you want. And so instead of just sitting, wishing, waiting, hoping for things to change, there's definitely some things that you can do to become proactive right now to become that version of you who already has that manifestation. So this is about step 5 here is about rehearsing what it's like to be the traveler, to be the millionaire, to be the in-demand coach. Whatever it is that you want to manifest, now is the perfect time to get familiar with that version of you who already has what you want. So here we are at step 5, a very powerful process to rehearse what it's like to have what you want. Back in the day when I started manifesting, this was when I had a very old, broken, embarrassing car. With 4 kids, it was completely unreliable. You know, the floor would get hot, the air conditioning didn't work. It was horrible. However, as manifesting became something that really was part of my DNA, I wanted to know more. I wanted to understand the secret to have what I want. Rehearsing was a very big deal point. And so I definitely looked like the crazy person in the neighborhood, polishing this old broken car, driving it like I was, head held high, feeling powerful with this old car. But in fact, in my mind, I was polishing the new car that I wanted. I had printed out the logo of the car and stuck that on the steering wheel of the old car to pretend and rehearse what it was like to, yes, have the car that I wanted. And wouldn't you know it, of course, I started to manifest that in within about 3 months, actually, of getting really familiar with the identity of who I am to have what I want. And so this is what we're going to go through together, is to have a look at different ways that you can rehearse. So when you're clear on what you want, when your goals are non-negotiable, and yet you have not grabbed hold of it yet, that you haven't manifested it yet, who knows this gap really well? That version of Claire who was, polishing the old car. Oh, it was so easy to go into like that victim mindset. And where is it? And the neediness. And oh my gosh, this is embarrassing. But I changed that. I rewrote that. And here I was, prepared to close that gap. So imagine you're that jumper on that trapeze. What would you adjust to get closer to what it is that you want? Now, I'm going to quickly share a video with you about the best of the best, rehearsing what it's like to have exactly what they want. Here we have the Blue Angels within the US Navy, and they go into a deliberate meditative state to be able to rehearse in their mind and their body what it's like to perform together and to be in the sky, being able to create that cell memory of what it is like to be able to have the invisible forces of gravity holding them up, to be able to create that incredible collaborative flight show that they put on for people. So they're manifesting and they're becoming and they're rehearsing, taking inspired steps to rehearse and become that elite pilot. Let's see if this one here will play with sound, hopefully. No, it won't. All good. I'm going to share that link in the descriptions below. But what I want to point out is that this is how the professionals close the gap. They rehearse the win. Professional athletes rehearse what it's like to win, to be able to have that elite performance. We see people in the industry imagining what it's like to have exactly what they want. And so this starts to put out that radiant energy out into the universe, like, this is it. And you start to train your unconscious mind, like, this is the opportunity that I want. You can start to connect in with your intuition. It's like, yes, guide me towards this. This is who I am. This is who I'm becoming. And so when we look at the video and notice what the Blue Angels are doing, they're very, very deliberate in the way that they're training their mind. We can only imagine what pictures do they see when they're imagining being up in the sky. We can imagine what they're hearing within their mind. We can imagine the feelings within their body. And also, what are they saying to themselves? Because I bet you they are not leaving room for doubt, insecurity, worried about what's for dinner. In that moment, what are they saying to themselves? Because I'm pretty sure they're going to have crystal clear focus. They know their passion, they have an agreement within themselves, they know that goal is non negotiable. They are feeling it, they're being that, being that resourceful, acting as if, and being that identity. So they're playing with time too, right? We've got this current time, and then they're rehearsing the future now. And of course, they get the inspiring results. Now we can see that they're playing, life or death kind of situation here. If they made a mistake, like it would be catastrophic. There is an importance why they're doing this. But what it tells us as a layperson is that if this works for that elite performance, you can definitely get into the zone when you are cleaning and imagining what it's like to clean your mansion, if that's what you're manifesting. If you're manifesting in the travel, go into your local area and pretend to be a tourist and take notice of what you would be taking notice of when you're going on that travel and that adventure. Be the person who's already curious about what it is in your surroundings. So when you think about what you want, what do you see? What do you hear? What do you feel? And what do you say to yourself as if you've already got it? And this is the clue, right? We need to engage with our senses. What do you see, hear, taste, touch, smell? It's like, yeah, this is my reality. And again, of course, if you're in a situation or an environment that is really heavy duty, I don't know, toxic relationship or feeling depressed or stuck in hospital, you can still access your imagination to the potential of what it's going to be like when you're free of that heaviness. So yeah, if you're manifesting in the car, here's a quick picture here of like, yeah, this is my current now versus my future now that I'm manifesting. And what you do need to know is that there are various ways to rehearse and simulate already having what you want. Now, my friend Jess here, she's an extrovert. She loves to manifest by writing, moving the body, getting out in nature. Whereas me, as a bit more of an introvert, I love doing my drawings and the mind maps and listening to processes. So our way of manifesting is quite different. And this is why there are no rigid steps here in step 5, because you need to know what works for you. If it feels tense, if it feels pressureful, if it feels unnatural, yeah, don't do that, because you're just making your manifestation much harder. And so if Jess had gotten onto group coach, you're like, everyone up on the floor, like up on your feet, get up and dance. They're like, hell no. I might do it just to, embrace the unfamiliar, but it's not something I would get people to do. Whereas there's different ways that I manifest that Jess will be like, oh, that's a bit boring, and she'd lose interest. So yeah, here's Jess manifesting she's currently in New Zealand, wanting to manifest in being in Queensland. And I took the time to be really, really specific. I found a picture of exactly where Jess wants to move to from New Zealand, here in Australia, in Queensland. And then I put the picture of Jess in Queensland. Her unconscious mind now has an exact specific idea of what she is manifesting, going from where she is to where she wants to be. And if she had put this up on her vision wall, it would be like, yeah, let's look for opportunities to create this. And so I do encourage you to be that pedantic and that specific when it comes to your manifestation, because it is important. So are you somebody who is more visual? Are you somebody who likes to get the body involved, move and play? Are you somebody who likes more accountability, checklists, writing things? Are you somebody who likes to connect more into that intuition of yours? Because there's a multitude of different ways you can rehearse being the new you. And it is important to imagine like trying on new shoes. Which one fits? Which one pinches? Which one moves within the rhythm of your day-to-day life? So trying them on, because the manual definitely has over 40 different ways to rehearse. And it's not about being overwhelmed, but it's broken down into 4 different chapters of the visual people, the people who like the checklist, the people who like more spiritual. It's there for you. And again, the key thing here is to rehearse in a way that lifts up your energy, that gets you excited, so that you can elevate your energy and elevate your results. In today's video, I'm going to take you through 3 particular chapters to give you a bit of clarity in the ways that you can rehearse. Here's the visual methods to manifest. And we spoke about vision walls right at the beginning. One of the reasons why we did that was because it actually can be quite time consuming, or to find that pocket of time, to find the pictures and to be able to create that vision wall or the vision board. And so time is the thing to consider when it comes to how you're going to rehearse your manifestation. Now, I say vision wall because if you were in my bedroom, when you lay down in bed, you see the whole wall of different adventures, different business ideas, different recipes, different restaurants, different things that I want to manifest. And it's just like elbowing my husband and saying, like, see that? That's what we're doing this weekend, or that's what we're doing to the house when we start to renovate. And so your vision wall, it can be organized, very structured. It can be really messy. Now, my daughters have their vision wall of things they want to do on weekends and school holidays, and it is quite messy. You're going to open up the pantry and the linen cupboard, and it's like, yeah, that's what we want to do, Mum. You know, pancake parlor and motorbike riding and whatever else is in between, parrot training, all the things. So it can look quite messy. It just depends on the way that you work. Some people like it a little bit more subdued, monotone. But before you spend too much more time perfecting your vision wall, we need to just make sure that the pictures that you choose are the things that you want to create in your life, instead of emphasizing how much you're getting away from problems. If there are pictures here that you're trying to get away from old stress, old situations, it's not worth putting it up on the vision wall at all. And we can see here from Jess's example that when she came out of a breakup, that her vision wall, yes, it was something to do to lift her out of the betrayal and the heartbreak. However, we can see that after coaching, when she took the time to redo her vision board, the emphasis and the colors and the motivation is so much lighter. So I would still encourage you to do the vision wall, even if you're feeling like you're in scarcity and lack. However, you may find yourself outgrowing that very quickly, which is good. The whole idea with your vision wall is to spark that enthusiasm, the excitement, to be able to uplift your energy. Behind the camera right now, there are all sorts of different pictures, and I see it like my energy's just like, oh, I want to be here, I'm loving it, compared to just feeling like, oh, this isn't my space, I don't like it, I'm tolerating. So you really do want to find those pictures that elevate your energy. Now, there is a bonus video that will go into more detail about why this works, how it works, what we're doing to be able to tap into your unconscious mind, because the vision wall absolutely needs to make you feel amazing. A bit of a sneaky clue here about what's happening when we're using our vision wall is the unconscious mind, the part of us that's not logical. And the logic likes the facts, the data, the checklist sort of thing, the recipe on how to do the things. The unconscious mind is much like your pet, where if you are creating that emotion, like, come on, let's go for a walk, they don't care logically what you're saying. They're picking up on your body language, how you sound, the emotions that it's drawing out in them. And if I had said, come on, we're off to the vet, they have no idea. It's like, okay, let's go, Mum. Versus being really grumpy, like, oh, let's go for a walk. Like, they already pick up on the body language, the tone. They're not interested. So your unconscious mind is working very, very similar in the way that you need to see this, and it needs to lift up your energy. Like, yeah, cool, let's go for a walk, let's wag our tail. You can put pictures on your vision wall to spark the logical mind, But mostly it's looking for pictures, color, novelty, all of the things to spark your attention. And yes, if you're on social media, this applies just as much to your clients who are scrolling through your content. Do the colors uplift them? Do the colors match the energy that you're projecting within the business that you want to offer within your services? We need to, you can definitely help other people have the feel good feelings when it comes to manifesting. Now, different ways to bring your body involved, get on your feet and manifest, is like starting your day. What pictures do you want to see throughout your day? What conversations do you plan on hearing in your day? How do you want to feel throughout your day? And what will you tell yourself about your day? So these are important pieces before you even get up. When you're waking up, it's like, yeah, be mindful about planning the type of excitable, energetic, or even calm, relaxed day that you want, rather than just letting the chaos come in. So before you pick up your phone and get flooded with the news, the stress, other people's agendas, take 5 minutes. If you have the flexibility, take an hour just to deepen that connection with you and your intention for the day. As we say here, like wake up with a smile, set the tone of the day, looking out for things that really light you up. Universe, show me what's good about today. Show me how I can feel even more connected today. Show me how I can embrace my confidence today. Set things up so that when you wake up, it's like, yep, I'm dialing up my energy. Because otherwise it's just so easy for our energy to get drained, right? We need to have these tips and strategies to elevate. Music's a great one, especially if you are that person who likes to get the body involved, to allow the music to lift up your frequency, and to already have a bit of a playlist ready when the day gets hard. So when you're taking yourself too seriously, get that music playing with that, gives you a bit of a dance, get the body moving. If you've got a full day of clients, what songs can you bring in that ground you? Those moments when self-doubt's going to kick in, what is the songs that you can play to reassure and bring your power back to this now moment? Preparing for a job interview, what music can you play to bring in that confidence and that power within yourself? And then need a break between paperwork? What music's going to motivate you to get up, get moving, shake the body? And then, yeah, a meeting, a presentation coming up, what music can you play when you're feeling into that grounded energy? So yeah, have that playlist ready so that you can go to it as a resource when your energy goes low. And we definitely got you covered. There's plenty of my content and Jess's thought-provoking content and conversation that can uplift your energy to think about things in a whole different light. Another one is being really mindful when you're seeing the 111s, seeing your feathers, seeing those signs and synchronizations, to allow yourself to come back to the present moment. If we were in a Buddhist temple, you notice that they do sound the bell, and part of that is to get out of the spiraling mind, back into the present moment, and to just really relish in the appreciation of what's around you. Breathing in, feeling the light, noticing your body, having appreciation for your body working as well as it's working, and just, yeah, utilizing those opportunities to come back into that present moment. Because the more hype, the more fun, the more energy that you're having, the easier it is to manifest and to come into those feel-good feelings. That's the thing with manifesting, is when you're in that present moment feeling really good about your surroundings, like going for a walk and just having appreciation, even for the mastery of walking past a luxurious car and wow, like the engineers or the design, looking around at buildings, going like there, the incredible architecture and the mastery in what's being created, the beauty within Mother Earth is like, wow, like Mother Nature, I should say, the colors of a bird, the droplets of rain on the wet grass, like just the awe in all of that investment to be poured into that moment where you just get to enjoy it. You don't have to be responsible for servicing the car or cleaning the building. It's just like, no, you're surrounded by abundance. And then there's also the other way to manifest is those soulful methods. Now, those soulful methods, looking out for those signs, the synchronizations to know that you are on the right path, that you've got that support, that universal support where old time streams are dropping away and that new path, that new supportive path is coming up like the Wizard of Oz and that golden path to what you want, your Emerald City. You can do things to have those signs and synchronizations around you, like painting your nails that happy color, hanging ornaments in your car that make you smile, having the post-it notes up on your fridge to say like, yeah, this is, this is my affirmation for the day. This is like, how can it get any better type questions. Having those reminders on your phone or using the vision wall on your phone, I should say the wallpaper, that sparks that, yes, this is what I'm creating. And I've seen this from participants in Elevate and Evolve where they've been going in circles like with house hunting. So suddenly putting up the images that represent the house that they want, seeing that on their phone every day. And it's like, yep, this is what I want. A fun story, I was coaching a client a year or so back. She created her vision wall. One of those pictures happened to be a destination in Australia. She kind of took the wall down or moved it out of the way to a vision board, I should say. And then off she went on a holiday a couple months back with a friend, came back, started decluttering, found her vision board, and was like, oh my gosh, the place that I put on my vision board years back, I just went on that holiday to that destination. And so even though it wasn't present in her day-to-day awareness, there had already been the planning, the unconscious mind, the intuition working to have exactly what she wants. And we see this time and time again with people manifesting that job that they want. I can think of a client who put a picture of themselves like on a cruise ship and it was like, yeah, I want that job as the entertainer. And yep, that's what happened. So very, very, very powerful. Another way that I always encourage clients to manifest is to actually grab your tarot cards or to go get a tarot reading. The interesting thing with the oracle cards, they can be a little bit like Nana giving you, that nice encouraging words. Whereas the tarot are very black and white and they will definitely tell you what is in the blind spots that have stopped you from manifesting what you want. Now, when we did this in class, of course, everybody got a tarot reading because we love our tarot. It gives you that clarity. And people had questions. They're saying, okay, well, what's the difference between mediumship and psychic readings? And very quickly here, since we're talking about manifesting and rehearsing, mediumship is connecting to people in the spirit world to be able to have their guidance. So my Nana's in the spirit world. If I was to have a mediumship reading and connect in with my Nana and asked her, okay, well, what do you think about my garden? My Nana was a gardener. She would be very encouraging to put lots of pinks and pretty flowers in the garden. Whereas if I had got a mediumship reading from my Uncle Ken, he did not care about the garden. He wouldn't have an opinion. So when we're doing spiritual, soulful ways to manifest, you need to actually connect in with your higher self that has the connection to your intuition, your best intentions for where you're going. Because going to Nana, going to Uncle Ken, they're going to have their own projection and their own agenda. Now, if you go to a psychic and they do a tarot reading and they tell you the energy in front of you, please know that you have free will to pivot and change. The reading that they provide you is not concrete. I know for myself when I did a reading for somebody who I saw on their path ahead of them, a baby. She was a single woman. She did not want that baby. And it was like, well, Spirit's letting you know if you continue being a little bit reckless and carefree, that this is what's being put on your path ahead of you. And of course, she then had free will to pivot and shift and did not have that baby. So the reading wasn't wrong, but the reading did give her the guidance about what's in her blind spots to say, okay, you have the choice to pivot and pull in a different time stream. And it can go the other way, staying on the theme of babies. We can also do a tarot reading, right, to say, okay, well, I want that baby. I want to be pregnant. I want to be a mum. And to say, okay, well, currently that's not on the path ahead of you. Why not? And the team will also say, oh, well, there's these limiting beliefs here about fearful of the consequence, the responsibility, don't want to be a mum like my own mum, like whatever it is. And then, of course, you can do coaching to clear the limiting beliefs, the fear of, becoming like your mother. And then the energy now shifts, and you now can manifest in that baby, the house, the car, whatever it is. So I absolutely love, love, love the tarot. I've been doing tarot readings for multiple past lives. I have so much trust in it because the information that you get is very, very clear. You can ask the tarot cards, like, does my bum look fat in these jeans? And they'll say, yep, go do some, exercise. So they can be very direct. And that's the way that I like to manifest, is like, yeah, let's accelerate this. So yes, you can get a tarot reading to identify what's holding you back, or what guidance do you need to make it happen quicker. There's all sorts of different ways to rehearse and manifest and get your crystals involved. Now, all of these tools that you use are that permission to access what's within you. Some people don't believe in crystals. Some people believe in carrying a lucky coin. Athletes believe in wearing the lucky underwear. The way that your mind is working with symbols, signs, synchronizations, the rehearsal, having those lucky coins or whatever it is for you, it's called an anchor. And when you think about walking into a bakery and you smell all of that yummy cooking, it takes you back to childhood. This is an anchor. This is what your mind is using to bring on those good feelings, to be able to take you back to good memories. Or it could be the opposite. You have that drive past a situation where you had a car accident, like, oh, the body's like, no, thank you. But if you have a code, a system, a way that works for you, if you like the tarot cards, if you like carrying around your lucky crystal, if you have the lucky coin in your pocket, use it. Use it. Do you need the science to back you up? Probably not. But the science isn't because the crystal will give you the good energy. It's because of the relationship, the belief that you have with it. And yes, crystals do have that frequency where they can uplift your energy, much like Mother Nature. But it's not woo-woo. We are using the way that your mind works to look out for more opportunities that match what you want to create. Had a person in the Elevate and Evolve group, and it was like, if you're manifesting in your new house, go out and buy your new crystal that you want to put into your new home. Get the crystal working, manifesting in being part of the dream. So instead of like, oh, where is my house? It's like, no, let's bring in the things that start to get you excited about, oh, I've got this new crystal. Where will it sit in my new home? All of the different things. And so that's why when it comes to manifesting, it really is your own personal journey about working out what do you want and rehearsing, becoming that version of you as if it's already happened. Because truth is, it has already happened. That's why your intuition has got that excitement in you for a reason. I could feel the team starting to talk. And there's another quick example here. I do have a process on my website where you do quantum jump into the future, where you do already have that job or that car or that house or that whatever you want. And I had a particular client who really wanted to become somebody important in the investment, in the housing investment industry. And when we did this quantum jump, she had a look and noticed that she was actually still wearing a dress in that new identity. She said, oh, I wouldn't think I would be wearing a dress when I'm in that corporate world, in that industry. I thought I'd still be, having to adapt and put on the pants. And I was like, nope, your quantum jump, your intuition is telling you, do not change. Part of that feminine spark will actually support you in helping other women become those property investors and so on and so forth. And when you know it, about 12 months, 18 months after that experience, the guidelines there of like, yes, your intuition said, hold on, do what's right for you. She's very, very, very successful in that industry now. And so it's really important to notice, okay, what lights you up and do what process feels true to you. So they're all in the manual there. At the moment, there's about 40 different processes. So find your chapter that works for you. If you like to script it out, if you like to dance it out, if you like to use vision boards, whatever's right for you. So I look forward to hearing what you are manifesting, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Bye, guys.